Hello, everyone. Welcome to E2G Sports presents the night shift. As always, I'm joined by KJB and Zach at Blindside73. That's his Twitter and the handle. Um, Please make sure to subscribe if you're new here. And if you're a returning member, thank you for joining us again. This has got to be like episode 20 something. I mean, we've been going at it since like August.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right. So, today we're going to continue our talking about playoff football. We have the divisional rounds. We have two members on the team here that have their team still alive. Um, so I'm sure they're all excited to talk about that. In the background, you could hear White Wave, a local rapper from Fall River, Massachusetts. Um, Make sure to follow him on Twitter at White Wave. All right, so let's get right into it, fellas. So the first game on the slate is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs, Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Zach, let's get some talk going for this game. How you feeling about it?
All right. First off, I got started with a Duval, but yeah. I'm ready for this game, and we played them earlier this season. We did lose to them, but it was a lot closer game than everyone thinks of. I think it was 27-17. Um, so we're a lot of people saying we're just playing with house money, and I feel like that's kind of our whole mentality this year. It's like we can beat everybody with it. Obviously, yes, Mahomes. It's a different era. Let's play off Mahomes. I mean, everyone's talking about the Bills and Chiefs are going to be the AFC title game. But I mean, I'm just hoping we could just play spoiler, man.
KJB, how you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I mean, first off, congrats to Zach on the dub. Must have been awesome as a fan to see his team come back. Props to the Jaguars for dealing with the adversity of being behind 27-0. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 picks and bounces back with 4 TDs and gets the dub. I mean, Lawrence has proven why he was the number 1 pick last year. Kind of showing some Andrew Luck. He was kind of compared to Luck as far as being like a sure prospect, and he's been balling as of lately. And credit to Doug Peterson, he's done a hell of a job. Making his team believe in each other. Jacksonville at one point was criticized in the offseason for making some of the signings they made, but they put together a squad. But now they have to travel to Kansas City and face MVP Mahomes. Like Zach said, in Week 10, two teams met in KC, and Chiefs won 27-17. I love what Jacksonville has done, but I just think Kansas City is going to be a little bit too much. We're talking about an Andy Reid-led Chiefs team that in his career coming off a bye has a 27-4 record. Granted, he's been a head coach for 24 years and a coach for 31. But I just think this Chiefs offense is too much, for a lot of teams to handle. They're riding a franchise best 17-game streak with 300-plus yards. They're first in scoring with 29.2 points per game, total offense of 413 yards per game, and passing yards of a little under 300. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think DFS-wise, I'm going to be sprinkling a lot of players from this game. Currently has the highest over-under, but I'm going to have to go with Kansas City, 31, Jacksonville, 24.
That's not bad, bro.
All right. Zach, what was your prediction on the score?
I got to ride with the squad, so I'm going to go 33-30. Got to ride with it. Jacksonville all the way, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, so this game is actually a game I see a lot of people doing a lot of bets on Jacksonville, taking the underdog here. It's a good storyline, but to me, it's going to be a little too hard going up to Kansas City. Mahomes off a bye week. He's going to be hungry to get back in the Super Bowl. They definitely want to win another one. He has one so far to be one of the best. And to be one of the goats, he's going to need a few. You see Brady with 7 championships. Um, Chris Jones on that defense leading it. Secondary is a little suspect. Definitely, that's a way you could beat him there. Zay Jones, Christian Kirk. I don't really see a big game from Etienne in this one. I think Lawrence, they're going to put the pressure on him here. Um, Kansas City is just an explosive team. Would I be surprised if they lost? No, but if I'm betting money line, I'm gonna take Kansas City here. Um, and I think they would win this one about 28-17. So I'll go with a 11-point swing on that.
So you think this stops Trevor's streak
Of
never losing on Saturday?
damn, for real, he's never.
He's
oh,
never
yeah,
like from high school up. He's never lost on Saturday.
Damn.
Dude, if he like Mahomes struggled versus Burrow, maybe like he has this thing where he can't beat
crazy,
these
man.
young QBs.
I mean, this young QB's becoming.
Hey, Jacksonville could be the Cincy of last year. Second year quarterback. Makes the Super Bowl.
Jacksonville wins. Wow. I mean, it's football. I wouldn't be surprised, but holy shit, to go into Kansas City and,
That'd be a great story.
take them out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, too bad voting's already over, but that would get Doug Pearson his coach of the year 100%. But voting's already over, sadly.
Oh, I know. They'll definitely take into account the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he ends up like going to AFC Championship with the second year quarterback that looked bad in his first year.
And we had the first overall pick last year too, so this would be a first to fully flip.
Jacksonville's defense definitely stepped up in that second half there too. They got stops when they needed it.
I mean,
Eckler
technically was the
nothing.
whole game. They just had short fields all game.
Right. Exactly. And then they
'Cause,
stopped
I mean-
Henry the week before. They stopped Eckler, so it's like
I mean,
the
and
thing is, the Chiefs don't have a running game like that. Isaiah Pacheco's good, but that's a pass first team.
I mean, even Herbert only had like 250 with all that
I
because
don't
he
know
said
what's
short
bad
field.
with him, man. Like Herbert.
Yeah.
he's
Can I actually mention
good.
something? Does Herbert get a pass more so than other QBs don't?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, because I was watching. Obviously, I got to watch all like the talk shows. They're like, "Oh, it's Staley's fault." I was like, dude didn't score. He scored 3 points in the second half.
We
He was
know if
making
it was
some
other
bad throws,
QBs.
though.
Yeah.
We know if it was other QBs, the media would be coming down their throat.
Like if it was like Lamar, they'd be killing him.
Yeah.
They don't like cocky quarterbacks that talk. They like Herbert's very quiet, dude. Like I can't even remember hearing like a interview with the guy.
Well, I mean, he has Joey
very-
Bosa on the team to be talking.
Oh man, so let's talk about that. What was up with that play? That pretty much lost
Okay,
them the game.
First off, let's start. Jawan Taylor, our right tackle, jumps on every play. The refs never call it. It's weird. Like if you watch our games or watch any of our games, he jumps there. I was like, okay, like I'll take it, but I was like, he's jumping every play. So I get that, but then something was said. I don't know what Joey Bush said. I'm not going to project, but something was said, and the way the ref turned, that's something major. He said. And went after him. It's not just like, oh, you bitch or something. That's like, this was something bigger, I believe. That's just me.
Damn.
What do you think about that play, KJ?
The Bosa play?
Yeah.
I just think,
Penalty.
I understand, he's probably upset if he feels like he's getting held, but in that situation, you got to keep your composure. And, to me, that just shows they don't really respect Brandon Staley.
Especially
even in the sideline,
the helmet thing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it kind of leads up to the coaching staff as well. But also as a player, you got to be smarter than that. You got to control your emotions because, it kind of costs them the game.
Now, I want to ask y'all's opinion. Do you think he said something to the ref like that? Because, I mean, if you see the ref's reaction, he turns quick. Okay, that's what a lot of people's like, oh, he didn't say that. I was like, he turned way too quick for him not to say something major. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely telling him that, hey, this guy's jumping early every time.
Yeah, but
you still don't do that, though. You can't throw your helmet.
Exactly.
And then Jacksonville, that took balls, though, no joke, to go for the 2 there.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get it in that situation where they kick the field goal, they would have to go for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you watch, the play was supposed to be like a screen to Ingram, I think, and then Trevor just dove for it. But and Joey Bosa didn't play again, I don't think. He was on the sidelines the rest of that game, or most of that game anyway.
Yeah, then he used a head case.
But I don't know.
So we got 2 Chiefs. KJB and myself took the Chiefs, and Zach sticking with his team, which you have to. At this point,
Mhm.
if you pick against your team, that's idiotic. They made it this far.
Facts.
So, all right, everyone. If you're tuned in, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that ring bell notification so you get alerted every time we go live. We're doing about 20, 25 podcasts a week now at E2G Sports. So,
Mhm.
yeah, make sure to keep supporting and get us to those 800 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the
I
week.
said we creeping up. Last I looked, we was at like 750 something. So we getting there quick.
No?
Absolutely.
All right, so New York Giants travel to Philadelphia as the night game for Saturday. So we'll start with KJB on this one.
Yeah, so we got Philadelphia favored by 7.5, game total at around 48. I just want to start off by saying props to the Giants, Danny Dimes, and Brian DeBall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brian DeBall's making a great case to finish runner-up and coach of the year to Kyle Shanahan, so props to him. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we'll see. He might get it for the
He might get it. I
turnaround.
was gonna say.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, that was the Giants' first playoff win since they won the Super Bowl in February 2012. I mean,
Jesus.
yeah, Minnesota's pass defense isn't good, and that's the second time we saw Danny Dimes carve them up this season. And man, Isaiah Hodgins has been really impressive get for the Giants. Shay, I know you had him in DFS, and he was awesome that game. As far as this matchup goes, obviously with them being NFC East opponents, they've already played twice. The first matchup with both teams at full strength, Philly won 48-22, and we saw Philly just carve them up on the ground. Miles Sanders ran for 144, had 2 tutties. The second matchup, Philly won 22-16, but that was a game New York Giants rested all of their starters, and the Eagles used a vanilla game plan with no design runs from Hurts. This game coming up, Eagles are coming off a bye as they were the number 1 seed in the NFC, and it sounds like Hurts is fully healthy now. He's off the injury report and cleared from his shoulder injury. They're also getting Lane Johnson back from a groin injury after he missed the final 2 weeks of the regular season. With Hurts under the helm, healthy, Philly has been awesome. They led the NFC in total offense and scoring offense. I think we see Sirianni get back to unleashing Hurts as a runner. I think we see this offense look like we did when Hurts was healthy. And at one point when he was on top of the MVP leaderboards. I like the story of the Giants this year. I love what the ball has done, but I just think Philly's going to be a little bit too much here. I'm going to go Philly 28, Giants 21.
I dig it. All right, Zach, blindside.
All right, so I do agree because I feel like the Eagles' defense is a lot better than Minnesota's was. Minnesota basically had Pat P, and Pat P is not the same as used to be, and that was pretty much it in their defense, backfield anyway. So I feel like the Giants, I feel like, yeah, they are a good story, but I feel like their run ends here in Philly. I think with Jalen Hurts 100% back, I think Jalen Hurts is trying to prove that, hey, I'm that dude that you don't have to worry about the whole running quarterback thing that gets ridiculous. He ran over, but I still think so. I say Philly's going to win 30-24. I think it's going to be close, but I still think with AJ Brown and Smith on the outside, I think it's just too much for the Giants to handle.
Yep. So, I'm with you guys. I wanna take the Giants, but wanting to and I'm not really feeling it, man. I think it's really hard to go against Philly right now. This is a team they've beat 3 times in a row, dating back to last year. I know it's different now. They got the ball in New York. I think New York might feel a little good about what they've done so far. They won a tough game in Minnesota versus a team that's defense has been pretty bad. But yeah, Daniel Jones has looked great. Hodgins has looked great. Your boy Richie James, he's looked good as well.
Yeah.
So I think Hurts being back, and then you mentioned Lane Johnson coming back. They waited. They rested those guys. And then the last game it was just a Manila playbook, especially with the odds that you could see this team again in the playoffs. You can't really give much in a Week 18 game.
Right.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, The Giants do have a good front four. Secondary's a little iffy, so I think this is a game where Hurts can really just throw like 3 touchdowns. He may be contained in the pocket, but I think the Eagles are going to win this one. I'll say 27-14. Go with Philly on this.
All
So
right.
I think that brings everybody. Took Philly.
Yep.
I wanted to take the Giants again, just to have something different, but it's hard, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like they don't have the. I mean, yeah, the Hodges is balling. I just don't feel like they have enough weapons at the moment.
They don't.
Yeah,
and I think
that Philly crowd. Yeah, sorry to cut you. That Philly crowd's definitely going to be lit.
Hell yeah, it is.
I mean, they're going to butt.
Be careful.
Yeah, I said they'll fight you or boo you no matter what you do. They booed Santa.
I know.
Yeah, I mean they ate horse shit after winning the Super Bowl, so
that's insane, dude. Wow, Philadelphia, huh, man?
I mean, Nick Foles still got his, or Doug Pearson got his statue, and that shrine to Nick Foles still there apparently.
It's wild that the NFC East has 3 teams after they were talked about as the worst.
It really is
last year.
But now,
even
so who do you think?
Shot to get in.
True. Yeah, the only reason they did is because apparently coach didn't know that they could be eliminated if they lost when he started Wentz over Heineke. He's like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, good excuse.
Sam Howell.
I still would have kept. I just kept wrong. Wentz should not touch the field again. I would have either ran with Howell or Heineke still.
They said Howell's the starter already. Heineke. They already said Howell's the guy next year, so Wentz will be gone and probably be a backup. I don't know if at his contract. I don't know.
Is a thing though, because I mean he's shown
the Jets
2 years back to back that he blows up near the end of the year.
He does, man. The Jets maybe if they aren't able to get Mike White back, if they miss out on these veteran quarterbacks like Brady, they're going after Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, or Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, if Jimmy G goes there, they're gonna wake up real quick. They're gonna have to see the system in San Fran and see what's going on there and be like, all right.
Well, they fired Mike LaFleur.
I mean, it can't be worse than what they're running with Zach Wilson, though.
Yeah, he's gone too. That dude's
They're saying they want him on the roster for this year. I don't know how much I believe it, but I mean, because he's just
I believe it. I just think they want someone else in there too.
Yeah, they do.
Because you can't go with Joe Flacco either. So
Brady is a big possibility, man. No joke. But that offensive
I don't think he'll go there. They only got one receiver. He won't go there.
Well, they got Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know.
That's what's like.
I like Elijah Moore, but
Elijah Moore.
But I don't feel like Brady. I mean, I feel like Brady's gonna try to go somewhere where like the Dak stack, like Vegas.
I think,
or like Miami.
Me personally, I think Brady wants to go to San Fran. I just don't know if we're gonna go for him.
I know.
Sure. Yeah.
I doubt it.
If he had choice, I could see him going there, but I still think it's best.
Honestly, the Raiders are probably the
Raiders or
most
Miami
logical place.
If Tua's done.
Yeah.
They could trade up, get a quarterback, maybe take Levis and let him sit a year behind Brady. I don't know. I think the Colts definitely need to go take a rookie, one of the rookie quarterbacks, maybe CJ Stroud if he's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting.
I still think they're trading up. I still think the Colts are going to trade up to 1 to jump Houston.
Probably. All right, so that was the Saturday slate. So Sunday we start with the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Buffalo in a rematch of a game that was not able to be finished. So this one's definitely exciting for fans because I'm sure a lot of us wanted to see these two teams go at it. And what better time than in a divisional round? So, Zach, I'll start with you.
All right. So I think this is going to be the best game on the schedule. Because I mean, both these teams. I mean, you got Buffalo who wants Kansas City because that's their. Since they're going to be playing Atlanta neutral site, so they can finally beat Kansas City in the playoffs. But then you have Cincinnati on their hand and want to prove that they should win the 2 seed, or that they want to go back to the Super Bowl because like you said, Joe Burrow, second-year quarterback last year, made it to the Super Bowl. if his line held up a second longer, they're probably going to win that game because Higgins running free. But I still think Buffalo's going to win this. I feel like Buffalo's just as like they've waiting all year for this. And then if that rumor about Von Miller want to come back in the AFC Championship game, which maybe probably unlikely, but that's what he's talking about. So I feel like they're going to try for that. And then, of course, they're going to be playing for DeMar. He's been visiting the team, but so that's like going to be their driving force this year. So I'm going to go Buffalo 24, Cincinnati 20, and it's like a game-winning touchdown for Diggs within the final 2 minutes.
Nice.
Let's go. All right, KJB.
Yeah, I mean, Zach kind of said it. In my opinion, besides the Dallas and San Fran matchup, this is arguably the most anticipated matchup of the divisional round. It sounds like there's a chance that Damar Hamlin could make an appearance at Highmark Stadium if he's healthy enough to do so, which I'm sure would give everyone in that stadium goosebumps. Luckily he's recovering, so, that's good to hear. The Bengals are coming off a game where they nearly squeaked by the Baltimore Ravens. Sam Hubbard pretty much saved their season with a 90-yard fumble return touchdown. Baltimore had a chance to win that game, with Lamar. It's easy to say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but with Lamar, they most likely win that game with how it turned out. We saw Burrow manage just a 209-yard passing game. He had 2 touchdowns, but the Bengals have major O-line concerns with now Jonah Williams being hurt, along with Alex Kappa and Lyle Collins. The Bills have a lot of really good players up front in their front 7. I think Joe Burrow is talented enough to overcome disadvantages situations around him, but I think this game kind of sets up to be a little bit of a shootout, but at the same time, I still am worried about Cincinnati's O-line. But we also have a Bills team that also, they almost lost to a Skylar Thompson-led Dolphins. Both teams haven't really looked the same since the Damar Hamlin injury. I wonder how much that's still weighing on both teams to experience a traumatic situation like that with, having, players who are like 23, 24 years old, like, I do wonder how it's going to be during the so-called rematch. But, my opinion, I think both teams can put on a show. I know Cincy is upset with the whole, them not getting a fair ordeal with the home field situation. But, I think both teams are going to put on a show. I'm really excited for this one. But I got to side with Buffalo here. But I'm going to say it's going to be close. I'm going to say Buffalo wins by 3 again, 31-28.
All right, so watching the Bills play Sunday, watching that game, I was like, wow, Cincinnati's going to demolish this team. They didn't look good at all. Josh Allen had some bad interceptions there. He had the fumble. That's something with Josh Allen that has to always be in the back of your mind. He's a turnover machine at times.
He tries to play hero ball too much.
Right, and he always looks to throw the deep ball, and Miami was getting pressure. They started bringing blitzes, and they had a great game plan to hide Skylar Thompson, who played so bad, so bad, and they only lost by 3. If not for that Mike Gesicki drop, like, it's a different game. And if Buffalo lost to Miami, that would be one of the biggest chokes ever, especially when the referees aren't giving a damn thing to Miami. Which happened in the Patriots game as well. Seems like Buffalo's gonna have some free play the rest of the playoffs. But then I go and I watch Cincinnati, and granted, Baltimore had like the number 2 ranked defense since they got Roquan Smith. But wow, they should have lost that game if they give that to J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. He let them be known too. He's mad. He's still mad.
He was pissed.
Yeah, if they do that, then it's a different ball game. Even that last throw at the end there, I thought Duvernay had a chance to get the ball.
Oh yeah,
he threw that 30-yard Hail Mary.
Yeah,
going off his back foot as always. Like, Huntley is horrible, man. Lamar
Yeah.
obviously makes a difference. Tua makes a difference. And then maybe we're not talking about Cincinnati and Buffalo. So this game was very hard for me to predict. But I did pick the Bills preseason, so that's making me lean towards them right now. I think that was a wake-up call. Maybe we're going to just blow Miami out, which was looking at like that at 17-0 in the first quarter. So like you guys, I have to take a close game also. I don't want to be the guy that says, it's going to be a blow. I did that last week. And granted, I got the games right, but I thought both these teams were going to blow out their opponents.
I had Buffalo in blowout last week as well.
Right. I think, we all did.
Tyler Thompson, dude. Like, come on, man. He's so bad, dude. And he had some good throws, but he made a lot of mistakes and missed some open guys. And what do you have, under 50% completion percentage? That's horrible.
Yeah, it was something ugly. Receivers were definitely dropping a lot.
I'll say Waddle, Waddle. I mean, Tyreek even was like had a couple. Like what? I've never seen him drop like that, but
that was wild.
I was just like, wow, if Tua's in here right now. I mean, they almost beat him in Buffalo the last time. It was a 3-point game.
Yes, Skylar Thompson was 18 for 45.
Holy wow.
Never.
That's as bad as you can get.
Yeah.
You're not getting pulled.
Exactly. And it's not like he had a bunch of picks, so it's not like, I don't know why. I was like, I'm actually surprised Teddy didn't enter this game at all.
Yeah, why didn't they play Teddy? It seemed like he was off the injury report.
His thumb injury. He had a thumb injury, though, no?
Yeah, but he was serving as a backup. Like, maybe he was still hurt. They didn't want to play him.
But I mean, I get that. But I mean, if we're scoring 18 for 45, the game's close. I'm like, you got to try Teddy.
Can't really throw far either with the thumb injury. It's like tough. But
true.
I don't know. Hey, at the end of the day, I'll take the Bills here, and so that would leave me Kansas City and the Bills in the AFC Championship
in Atlanta.
Right. Here we go to the juicy matchup. Start with KJB. His 49ers take on the Dallas Cowboys in Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, as the night game. No, it's like the evening game. Sunday night. All right, Kyle, get into it.
Yeah, I'm just going to start off by putting the chain on.
Oh, hell no, dude.
Shout out Debo, because we snatching chains on Sunday.
Keep that on, dude. Keep that on.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on. I think I ripped the GLDs, man.
Come on.
Shit, man.
Let's go. Nah, in all seriousness, let's start off. San Fran is favored by 3.5, game total of 46. This is a rematch of last year's wildcard game where we saw San Fran win 23-17 in a chaotic finish. I'm very excited about this game, not only as a Niners fan, but just as a fan in general. No doubt this is one of San Fran's toughest opponents they've seen all season, but that's expected when you start advancing in the playoffs. You start playing great teams. Dak was money versus Tampa Bay last night. Dallas's offensive line looked great, and the defense was giving Brady fit. So I want to give props to Dallas, who I think are a great team. But Tampa is who they were all season, and in my opinion, that's an overrated team that got lucky by being in a horrible NFC South division. So now Dallas has a matchup versus the big boys, a team that's won 11 straight. We can talk about Brock Purdy. He looked a little shaky during the first half versus Seattle. I think he had a little bit of the hips. He was kind of overthrowing some throws. He missed some wide open players, but he turned it up during the second half. And, for the last pick of the draft, he just continues to impress me. I think, Dallas is going to want to get a lot of pressure on Purdy. I was rewatching the playoff game from last year, and they were keeping Miko away from Trent Williams a lot. So we'll see if Mike McGlinchey, if he's lining up against Miko, we'll see if he is able to step up. But to me, this really comes down to coaching. This comes down to Kyle Shanahan versus Dan Quinn. During last year's playoff game, we saw San Fran run the ball at will versus Dallas with Debo and Elijah Mitchell. And I expect Kyle, I expect him to try and do the same thing, but now you add CMC into the mix. When you get a team like Dallas that is good at forcing pressure, what's a good counter? It's screenplays. And who's up there as one of the best in designing screenplays to arguably the best group of YAC players in the league? That's Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. So, I think Kyle's going to be in his bag this game, scheming up versus that defense. I don't underestimate my opponents. I think Dallas would be a good opponent. And I know they want revenge for last year, but San Fran has the home field advantage. They have 2 days of rest on Dallas. And overall, I just think we have the more talented roster. We know Dak, he tied for the league lead in interceptions, right?
Yep.
With Davis Mills or something. Yeah, I mean, he played clean football last night. Probably his best game of the year. So, we need to keep forcing pressure against Dak. We had success doing that in the playoffs last year. We need to force him to make mistakes and force Dallas to make mistakes in general as a team. But again, I just think San Fran is just too talented for Dallas. I'm going to have San Fran winning a close one. I'm going to go San Fran winning 27-23.
All right. Zach?
I'll say you pretty much hit a lot of things I was going to say about this game. Obviously, that's your team. You got to know them. But I still think, yes, Dallas did look good against Tampa, but Tampa's offensive line isn't the greatest. They don't really have a running game. San Fran's running game's been crazy all year. Now, I do have a question. Do you think, because I heard you say with a bad division, do you think the NFC South was the worst division in football this year?
Yes.
I was like,
I know the
NFC.
I know the records kind of there's 3 other teams that were 7-10, but I'm not a believer in the Carolina Panthers. Wasn't a believer in the Andy Dalton-led Saints team. And the Falcons, they played a lot of close games. They even beat my Niners, but I really didn't take them as a threat and to make the playoffs or anything. So as a whole, I just didn't really believe in any of those other teams.
I'll say, because I think that's always going to have a thing. It's who you play, but I mean, you play who you play. But I still think San Fran's enough better. It's a totally different animal than what Tampa was. Yes, Tampa had the GOAT, but the way even Brock Purdy's been stringing it, I still think San Fran's going to win. I think have a 30-20 game. But I just think it's just not going to be enough. I mean, they're going to try to get revenge from last year, but I think this is also a different animal for San Fran. It's not like no CMC last year, so it's they're just going to be running it way more than Dallas can stop it.
All right, so we got 2 people who are going to be completely wrong, and this guy here is going to be right. I'm going to tell you why the Cowboys are going to win, all right? And it's not just because I hate the 49ers, all right? Because I picked them to win last week big, and they won big, although it was looking like they were going to blow that one. But anyways, they're here, dude, and they're going to get a taste of Dak Prescott. He's going to light them up, dude, because they haven't been the same defense as of late. Geno actually looked good against them last week. Jarrett Stidham looked good against them a few weeks ago, and I see Dak doing the same thing. Now, I didn't think Dak was going to be moving out the pocket like he was versus Tampa, but he actually was. He was showing his legs out, and that's one thing he's going to need to beat the San Francisco 49ers, because if you're a stagnant quarterback standing in the pocket like I thought Brady was going to be if that was the matchup, and that's why I did have San Francisco in the NFC Championship game. But now it's Dallas. I think it's going to be a whole new ball game. And I think you're going to see a lot of what you've seen yesterday from Micah Parsons, where he's going to be on the line, but he's going to be also in the back playing linebacker. He did that a lot yesterday, and his stats looked good. He had, 2 pass deflections, 8 pressures. He was doing a lot. And you can't really know what to expect. And he's going to have to stay at the linebacker because they have guys that like to go across the middle. They got guys that like to go in the flats like CMC. Elijah Mitchell was catching wide open balls because no one was really paying attention to him. They have to, like Lawrence and those other guys on the D-line, they have to keep pressure on Purdy because I'm still not sold on him. I've seen some plays where he did get a little bit of pressure and he looked off. But the thing is, a team like Seattle isn't going to be able to get a lot of pressure. Their defensive line's horrible. And they weren't, who they have, Bruce Irvin. He did pretty decent, but
because the other one's out, got hurt. So I think it was just mostly him.
Yeah, their other linebacker was out, but Seattle's not really a good team. Sure, they made it, and I'm not going to say none because even if the Lions made it, the Niners would have beat the Lions as well. It's those fringe. I don't know. I don't think they would have beaten San Fran. Personally, even Seattle, they had some good plays up, and then it was the fumbles again. Once you get it, that's one thing too. Dallas, if they could play clean football, they'll be all right. You cannot have stupid turnovers on your side. Like Seattle just gave up after that fumble. They looked horrible. It went downhill quick. Um, I think this is the game where we see why Purdy was a seventh round pick. Um, I think the pressure's going to get him. He should have had some interceptions, but I mean, every game there's quarterbacks that should. But he was throwing some balls. I'm like, oh God, he takes a lot of risks, a lot more risks than Jimmy. Maybe that's because Shanahan trusts him more than Jimmy G. I don't know, but he definitely lets him throw the ball a lot more deep than he did with Jimmy. Everything with Jimmy was underneath. So I think Dallas pulls this one off. I feel a revenge tour coming for them, and next week I'll see what happens based off if they play Philly, which is what I think. And I'm gonna put a score of 31-20. That's what I threw out earlier, and I'm just gonna stick with it. So I'll take the Cowboys of the bunch.
KJ, I got a question though for going off what Shay just said though. Do you think with the deep throw, because I did see that too. Now, do you think it's just because Jimmy can't throw it deep, or consistently throw it deep? I guess would be a better word. Because I mean, like that Super Bowl with Emmanuel, and he missed them against Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's that, or do you think it's?
Yeah, I think Jimmy's had opportunities to make the deep throw, but we saw a lot of times he just wasn't that guy as far as like those deep explosive plays. And I mean, we see Purdy, like this dude will like run around for like a couple of seconds and then just freaking sling it, But also at this point, Purdy's playing with, in my opinion, the best offense we've had since Shanahan has been here. So I mean, he and the healthiest since Shanahan has been here. So I think it's a combination of Purdy is willing and a little bit better at throwing deep than Jimmy is, along with having a full arsenal of weapons at his disposal to do so. Purdy's shown to be more mobile than Jimmy. He has shown to be a better deep passer than Jimmy. I just think it's a combination of a bunch of things. And most importantly, I think Shanahan trusts him more than he trusts Jimmy.
I say trusting. That's always that. Okay, so if he trusts, so who do you think he trusts more? Let's put it this way: Lance or Jimmy?
Mm-hmm. Who does he trust more, Lance or Jimmy?
Yeah,
Trey Lance.
I mean, yeah, but he kept Jimmy
I
around.
think for the limited amount of times that I saw from Trey, I think Trey has shown to have a better deep ball than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I mean, I think the draft pick of Danny Gray was specifically for Trey Lance. We got that speed option. I can't speak for Shanahan. Lance has only started 3 games, but in my opinion, Lance has shown to be a better deep passer for those limited amount of games than Jimmy has. As far as Shanahan trusting, I don't know. I just think Lance is a better. That's the reason why they drafted Trey Lance, because outside of the mobility, he's in North Dakota State, he's shown to be able to make that deep throw. We saw him make it to Christian Watson a lot in North Dakota State, and I think that's what Kyle envisioned with Lance. I think he wanted to change his offense to be able to have that mobility, along with adding the deep ball, and just trying to make his offense more diverse than what it was with Jimmy. I mean, even with that Cowboys game last year, like Jimmy made some big throws, but that offense wasn't really that like crazy. I mean, Jimmy balled out this year, in my opinion. He played well, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Dallas is definitely, this is the game they wanted last year.
I mean,
you guys beat them.
I remember Jerry Jones. I think in the offseason, Jerry Jones said, "I would love to play San Fran again." I think I told you that, Shay, recently.
Yeah, this has turned into a rivalry, a non-division rivalry.
Yeah, because they keep knocking them out. It's either them or Green Bay.
Their defense looked really good, man. Yeah, granted it was against Tampa Bay, but
I don't know, just my opinion, Dallas's offense, like, yeah, CD is that dude, but like, are we nervous about T.Y. Hilton? Like last year, they at least had Amari Cooper
Schultz,
as well.
Though? What about Schultz?
Schultz and CD?
In my opinion, we have the best linebacker core. and we have Hufanga and Tashawn Gibson at safety. Like, we're pretty legit at shutting down tight ends, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't know. CD is just
Y'all probably
DK,
y'all might have the best linebacker core. I was trying to think.
There's a lot of things. If they just look at that Raiders game and seen what the Raiders did, there's a lot. You need a
at least the Raiders game. I'll give them. They can get a little past just because the fact there was no tape on Stidham, so they don't know what they were going to throw at him. Because that game, they did everything else.
I do think we underestimated the Raiders that game, and that was kind of a Josh McDaniels, like, you know what, everyone talking shit, Carr's not here, like, screw everyone. I'm still going to show why I'm like a good coach. But we see a lot of times during the regular season. I mean, look at Dallas against Washington. People use that to pick against them versus Tampa, and look now.
I did, but I should have realized that they were not really fucking. I mean, a full game plan.
I mean, we see a lot of teams. We see a lot of teams lose to bad teams. The Colts, the Chiefs lost to the Colts this year. We can't use that against them to the playoffs.
I think it's just gonna be a fun game, dude.
I'll agree with that. I mean, and Houston almost beat Dallas too. So
Dallas kind of has to win this game, dude, to get like the respect back. Both teams haven't won nothing since the mid-90s, but at least you guys have
been to big games.
Two Super Bowls.
Yeah, I will say D'Amico Ryans. I know he has like 4 interviews this week. Just get your head in the game. Keep focused. If you want to be a head coach, put it on tape.
Yeah, for sure. We have more wins in the playoffs than the Cowboys do right now. Like since their Super Bowl and since
you made the AFC Championship,
we have more.
Yeah, you made the AFC Championship.
And no, even before their Super Bowl, we've had more. Like since their last Super Bowl, we've had more wins in the playoffs than they have.
But something bum ass teams don't have a Lombardi, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm over here watching, dude. I got to see if the Jags
are. I didn't get to watch one, but I still got 5.
Yeah, you got 5. Trey Lance, I see it, dude. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, 5.
You got, dude. High 5, dude.
Oh man.
Dude, hey man, back in the day, me and KJB always going at it, dude.
It
was harder though because our team sucked.
No!
Whoa! I don't know, dude. Once we had Harborough, things turned up.
No, I'm saying like 2005, 2006, 2007.
Well, that was Mike Singletary. We had the first pick. I remember you talking shit when Vernon Davis was crying, saying he cried he got drafted to the Niners.
Dude, Davis.
Dude, of course.
No, actually, we had one guy cry when he got drafted to us. That's CJ
Jalen Ramsey.
No, Jalen's cool with us. Jalen was cool with us because Florida State's right around there. Now I'm talking CJ Henderson, the guy we got to replace Jalen.
Oh, I know.
And now he's getting burnt by Mike Evans in Carolina. Another game.
Exactly. Yeah. But hey, guys, that was a great show.
Absolutely.
Everyone, please make sure to like and subscribe to E2G Sports. We'll be here every Tuesday. Kyle, Zach, as always, man, it's been a pleasure. If you guys want to, leave it with anything.
I got to hit him with a Duval all day, baby. Let's get this done.
AJ, what you got, dude? What do they say in San Fran, dude?
What do they say? I just expect Kyle Shanahan to cook on Sunday.
That's what y'all's chanting the saying.
What do we chant?
Yeah, you guys have that song, dude.
Who, Bang Bang Niner Gang?
Yeah, dude, whatever.
Nah, we ain't worried about no songs, man. We're just getting the job done.
Damn, dude. Hey, man.
No, they care about their songs. They got Boombox Guy. You care about your songs.
Who, Stunner Man?
Yeah.
This week, dude, I'm gonna see Kyle Friday night, dude. I might have to get me a Cowboys jersey,
Oh man, Stephen A. Smith over here.
Yeah. All dripping.
I wasted my money on that. But all right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week.
Snatch and chain, baby.
Get it.